This is a book that Elwyn Berlekamp, Richard Guy, and I wrote about how to play children's games. Why children's games? Well, because if you take grown-up games like chess and Go and so on, there's really no hope of getting a theory out. Whereas with children's games, you can quite often get a rigorous theory that tells you how to win and if you're winning. To sort of romanticize complexity. The great discoveries, at least in my subject, are not made by doing complicated things. They are the discoveries that tell you very, very simple things that people haven't really noticed. Actually, the case I just mentioned before of randomness not cutting it, so to speak, in the free will theorem is an instance of this. Look, that's a very, very simple observation, okay? Einstein didn't make it. Isn't that fantastic? I feel so proud that, we made this observation, which I can explain to this audience quite easily. Einstein didn't get it. It's absolutely fantastic. Einstein made lots of simple observations. Einstein's observations were not, he wasn't terribly good at mathematics, as he says himself in certain places. He didn't know certain, abstract theories, but he thought in a very, very simple way. This is just one of the simple things that Einstein didn't notice. Actually, it may be the only one, I don't know. So, it's hard to make new, simple discoveries. It really is. When you make them, of course, everybody understands them, I hope. And then I discovered, in particular, that some games behaved like numbers. I now say were numbers, and noticed that you got a simpler development of the theory of real numbers by just regarding them as games. There's an application of childish game theory to numbers. But it didn't stop at the real numbers. It went on to the surreal numbers. And, that's a lovely thing for me, because it's, I like sort of, well, in England we say taking the mickey out of people. It means making fun of people who are particularly pompous or something. Here is this serious theory of the foundations of the real numbers and everything, which was developed in the 19th century by people with beards. And it came out, this is a simpler theory than that came out of studying childish games. In my book on numbers and games, I found it a rather nice thing to do to pretend that the numbers came first. The numbers are really defined as particular games. And the definitions, which I've every now and then apologized for not giving, the definitions and the first theorems about them only take a few pages. After those few pages, you know that the surreal numbers form a field, and you have some idea how big it is. If you live with it for 10 years, you get a slightly better idea of how big it is. It's absolutely enormous. And I love the fact that I just got it by trying to understand the game of Go, by playing games, essentially. That's what I've done all my life. I've played games, and every now and then discovered something interesting as a consequence.